In this video, we will be diving into the concept of debouncing in JavaScript. If you have ever worked with the user input events and encountered with the issues like performance, lags, or multiple rapid executions, debounce is a valuable technique to address those challenges. So let's jump right in. Here I have made a basic code. When you type in an input field identified by its ID, my function will get activated with every keystroke you press. Handle input function will be re-triggered, then I can see the value of the input field and the handle input triggered in the console. So let's see this behavior in console. So here is the thing. Suppose I am typing any word like keyboard. So here you can see for every keystroke, for like K, KE, KEY, KEYB, KEYBO till keyboard, my function is executed. And here is like handle input triggered for every keystroke. Rate of execution and prevent unnecessary workload on the system. So the well-known website like Flipkart also uses debounce function. So I will just show you that. So here is the user input of Flipkart, and let me type the same word. So here you can see I have written like about 7 words, 7 alphabets, but you can see the first one is for the empty query, and the second API call was triggered for the K alphabet, third was for key, and the last one for whole keyboard. So how the Flipkart is doing this? The debounce is behind this, all of this. So let's see the logical part, how we can. So what I will do is we will create a function named debounce that will take 2 parameters. That function to be debounced, and the delay. The time delay will be in milliseconds. So let's do that. The first argument is func. This one is delay. So after that, I will define a variable timer ID to store the ID of timeout created by setTimeout. This is used to keep track of the timeout so that it can be cleared before setting a new one. So after defining this, we will return an anonymous function. I will tell you why we are doing this. So here what we will do, now we will return an anonymous function which will take arguments array which we will be spreading using rest parameter, and this is the debounce function that will be invoked. And in this debounce function we will create one variable named context, and which will capture the current value of this. This is done to ensure that the original function func is called with the correct context later. Okay. After that, now we have to clear the previous timeout. If there is any previous timeout, then we have to clear that to prevent the execution of original function func. So let's do that. Clear timeout, and I have to pass timer ID in this, and after this we have to set a new timeout using setTimeout in this timer ID. Set timeout, which will also take an arrow function, and in this we will use our context by apply method, and second argument as args, as it takes an array of argument. And the second argument of the set timeout is delay, which I have declared here. So when this timeout elapses, it will call this arrow function that applies the original function func with the captured context and provided arguments. And it's done. Our debounce function is done. Now we have to consume this debounce function. Debounced input handler. And we will pass it our input handler in this handle input function, which I have declared above, and the delay which we want. Let me add 500 millisecond delay, and it is done. Now we have to change this. Now let's test it. Everything is fine. Let's. So here you can see it is entered only once, and hence we are limiting the rate of execution and preventing the unnecessary workload on the system. And if I'll type anything else, then also it will be reflected that only. Let me reduce this to 200 millisecond. Sorry. And type. So here you can see the behavior that we have seen in Flipkart. So that is what debounce function is. I think it will help you guys to understand. Thank you.